Again, Steve Conley here for It's About Belief. My last video, I said I would relay some stories as to what an imagination can do as far as creation. So, hey, here's the first one of my favorite ones. And this kind of was born out of a situation that just happened. And I'm not sure how that one happened, but this guy that I knew called me, and he was moving from Georgia to Florida, and he had a couple of cars, two cars that were, he didn't think they were valued at very much, and frankly, one of them wasn't, and one of them was a little bit more valuable. But anyway, he said, "Hey, I got these two cars," and one of them was a Chrysler K car that was in pretty decent shape, it ran, and the other one was a Buick Buick Skylark. That's what it was. And it had a dented fender, but it was like a 1960, mid-60s, probably 66, 67, somewhere in there model. So it was a kind of a fastback model, kind of a crumpled front fender. Engine was the old V8s. It ran fantastic. The interior was in great shape. And so I'm thinking, okay, probably wants to sell them to me. He said, "Do you want them?" I said, "I don't know. How much?" He said, oh, no, you can just have them." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, I'll take them." And he said, so I took them. And honestly, I kind of frittered them away. There was this lady who needed a car. So I financed out that K car to her. Well, she never paid me anything at all for it. And I kind of sort of suspected that might be what was happening. And I had a heart that was going out and saying, well, okay, you can you can have it. Well, she ended up living in the car. And I'm not really here to judge anybody else's experience, but that's not something what I would have preferred. And I certainly would have preferred that she actually paid me for the darn thing. But that anyway, so that one was, I just kind of wrote that one off. It was gone. Now, the other one was really a pretty cool car. I ended up selling it, actually. I put it on Craigslist for $775. Frankly, that car, as it was sitting, was worth probably $2,500 to $3,000. I didn't really know that at the time. Had I done a little bit of research and so forth, I probably would have realized what I had done. Anyway, I had somebody come along. He was trying to negotiate it with me a little bit. And I just said, and he was kind of irritating me a little bit. And I said, "Look, forget it. If you want it, the price is that. It's $775. If you don't, fine." He said, "I'll take it." And he knew what the deal was. Okay, so all that really is just the setup. This guy gave me two cars, right? So just last year, I was recalling that. I was remembering that that's what had happened. And I said, wow, I'd like for that to happen again. So I'd like for somebody to come along and give me two cars. I just put that out in the universe just like that. I like that. Here's the visual representation that happened. So I had a lot of information, of data in my memory banks, the tactical, hey, here's two cars, the physical, here's two cars, the sounds, the reality, the conversation, the feeling, everything went along with it. It was there. So it was really real already for me and easy for me to recreate. So I just kind of brought that flash into my head really quickly and put it out there. And then went about other stuff. I didn't spend any time working on it. No time working on it. I just said, okay, this is what I want. If I did 60 seconds on the whole transaction there in terms of the imagination and the realization that I'd like for this to happen again, then might be generous with my time there, 60 seconds. So I'm going about my business and then traveling back and forth to Florida for family stuff, and then meeting some friends down in South Georgia. We're at this McDonald's in South Georgia, and they say, "Hey, Steve, listen, my son is in Gainesville, and we know the son's in Gainesville, and the wife of this couple says, well, we've given him two cars to help him. And right now, one of those cars is sitting over in the parking lot in front of Office Depot. It's a Jeep Cherokee. It's an older one. It rolled over there because it was overheating. We don't know what kind of shape it's in. We don't know if anything. And the other one is sitting, which is an Isuzu Rodeo, older model, sitting over in the apartment where he lives, and it won't start. And she said, do you want them? For free. We'll just give them to you. You can do whatever you want with them. I said, my first thought was, oh, wow, here it is. This is the realization, the physicality of the vortex, if you will, as Abraham Hicks calls it, delivering on my requests. And I stepped back and I said, wow, this is something. So acting from integrity, I said, well, you can take these, because I know they're free and clear. You can pick up the phone and call any of these We Buy Cars places. Google it, you'll find half a dozen of them, and sell them and get the money and hand them the title if you like. Or you can give them to a charitable organization and get a tax write-off. And she said, nah, we don't want to do any of that. We just want, if you'll just handle it, we'll just give you the cars. And I said, sure, I'll take them. So I took them, and they weren't bad, really. Kind of in the middle of some other things. And I said, well, I don't want to do what I did before, which is, own or finance it, basically give them away. I didn't want to do that. And so I called up these places, and I was getting some bids that were pretty low, anywhere from like $115 up to about $300 for these two cars. I said, no, that's too cheap. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to give them away that cheap. So I ended up talking to this guy. He's in the real estate business. I find out he's a car dealer. I showed him pictures of him. I said, look, I don't know anything much about him. I haven't tried to start the Jeep. I can't get the Isuzu to do anything. It won't start, which is the one I had the hopes for. And so I said, I'm selling them. How much? And he said, well, how much do you want for them? And I said $600 a piece. He said, yeah, I'll take them. I said, great. So I sold both of them for $600 a piece. Again, looking back at that, I would have done things a little bit differently. As we go through these things, we tweak our ideas of what it is we like. So I would have probably kept the Isuzu and then sold him the Jeep Cherokee. Although, as it turns out, the Jeep Cherokee needed a ton of work. He ended up giving that away to somebody else, and they put it into their mechanics. I don't think they ever did anything with it. Next thing I heard was that somebody had towed it off from the mechanic, and it was in some lot, and they were applying for the title, basically salvage title or something. So the Isuzu, he said he got that running. He gave it to one of his family members to drive. So probably did the right thing in giving both of those to him, so he just gave one. He gave them both away, really. He was trying to help his friends and his relatives, and he did help one. I don't think he helped the other one so much with the Jeep. It would have been a great parts car. Let's put it that way. There's always something that can be realized out of that. Now, this particular story has gone on for a little bit longer than I might have anticipated, but what I do want to do is do one story on this video, because I want to follow it with, okay, what's my next visualization around this? So now I've collected some data. I'm not going to wait 15 years before I decide to put it out there again to the universe that I'd like two cars. So my next visualization is I want two cars. And I'm going to do 2 visualizations. One is I'd like 2 really nice vehicles. Your choice. Universe, it's your choice. Bring me 2 nice cars that are running and that I can take and maybe buy. No, not buy. You're going to give them to me. Sell or keep and drive or do whatever I want. Maybe something utilitarian. Maybe a nicer pickup truck. I ended up with a pickup truck from some other visualizations, and maybe another SUV, a really nice SUV, just to drive and replace my older SUV. Something like that. Okay, so that's number 1. Sent that out and just did it, as a matter of fact. That was it. Now, I also did another one a little bit earlier that was a lot more specific. And that one is bring me a white Toyota Highlander, late model, excellent condition for me. And also bring me a BMW i8, later model, less than 30,000 miles, in really good shape. You know, bring that to me as well. Again, white, make those kind of two-tone white with a kind of blue and black stripe, really sharp looking car. But you know, they're really, really inexpensive for what they originally sold for when they were brand new. They were like $140,000, $150,000, $160,000 cars. You can get them if you went out and bought one for 60, 55, 60, 65, 70, somewhere in there. So I'm saying, well, you know, just put that as part of the freebie for me. Now, certainly I'm ready, willing, and able to trade that for real estate training or something else that I might have that somebody else wants. But let's not clutter it up too much. Let's just say, okay, if anything's possible, this certainly does not leave that out. It's not that big of a deal. You've already delivered me 2 sets of 2 cars. What's 1 or 2 more? Very good. Thank you. Thank you, universe, and thank you, God, for all that is. So, this is Steve with a story about law of attraction from It's About Belief. Go to it'saboutbelief.com. Sign up for the It's About Belief daily belief ideas, and certainly subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you.